Our Denver Broncos just re-sign a crucial starter. They dodge a major bullet. We hear about a new artist performing at the Sean Payton apology tour. The over-unders for the NFL came out, and the Denver Broncos are way too low again, but we've got a ton to dive into. If you're new to the channel, I'm a diehard Denver Broncos fan named Ben. Helps me in that algorithm out a ton if you would smash that like and subscribe button. We know Sean Payton is one of the only coaches in the NFL who still employs the fullback position, and we got a good one, folks. There was rumors that after the Broncos got Greenlaw and Tufanga from the 49ers that we are going to get another 49er in Juszczyk, Kyle Juszczyk. Ed McCaffrey teased it like, hey, the Broncos want this guy. His nickname is Joker. Get him. Well, Michael Burton is an absolute stud. His chemistry with Bo Nix and any running back you throw back there is just already off the chart. While the Broncos don't employ the tush push per se like the Eagles do, I think Michael Burton as like a slam it down your throat I formation type fullback is just absolutely unstoppable. And we saw him used, and we saw his connection with Bo Nix like starting all the way back in training camp. Dudes on the hill were just throwing stuff out on Twitter, on TikTok of just like what an animal this dude was. I think one of my favorite plays of the entire season. First off, do you guys remember this shellacking and how good it felt? It had been a long time since we'd shellacked a team. So here it was, 4th and 2. We're just manhandling the Carolina Panthers. And we do this little throwback here. We remember Courtland Sutton threw the sick touchdown pass to Bo Nix when he went up and mossed somebody in Baltimore. Well, here, Courtland Sutton throws it deep to who? Your man, Michael Burton. So you see his ability there. We've seen, I've got friends who are Chiefs fans who remember just Michael Burton just being an absolute dog when he played for the Kansas City Chiefs. Here he is in short yardage up against the Chargers, and we know what a fantastic front that is. And you're like, hey, 1 yard isn't enough. You're going to go even further. I'm going to stop that one playing there because it hurts me to watch him play for another team, especially that one. This one was a sick play here. Again, against the Chargers. He always just has the Chargers number. Boom. You see his connection there with Bo Nix. Absolutely wild. So I think it's a fantastic signing there with Sean Payton to go out and get a guy who has chemistry with Bo Nix. I'm thrilled to death with that. Now, next thing I said, the Broncos dodged a major bullet, and that is that one of the veteran wide receivers that a lot of folks had talked about coming to Denver was Stefon Diggs. Now, Stefon Diggs had met with the Patriots, and they said they were going to wait till after the draft to do something about it because there's a lot of people think the Patriots are going to end up getting Travis Hunter in the draft, and maybe they'll have receiver worked out and they won't need one. So maybe that is a signal to that, or maybe this is maybe Stefon Diggs told the Patriots, hey, I got other dudes who want to sign me. Well, the Patriots gave him $26 million in guaranteed money and a 3-year, $69 million deal. He'll make more than Courtland Sutton as of right now if we don't do anything with Courtland Sutton's deal. I think this is a massive overpay. He is not going to be 100% at the start of the season. And even if he was 100%, I think there are off-the-field issues, and I've said this before, that Stefon Diggs, he drudged up a ton of drama when he was in Buffalo. Here's this article here about like the tension between Stefon Diggs. He was a holdout for a long time because of his negotiating his deal. And then at one point, he was actually dismissed from team facilities during minicamp. And they tried to sweep it all under the rug, but at the end of the day, he was sent out, and Buffalo needs a receiver right now as well, and no one even talked about Stefon Diggs going back there. I think they know the off-field drama that Stefon Diggs brings to a team, and so I think this is awesome for the Denver Broncos to pass on Stefon Diggs just because I don't want to be given an older receiver coming off an injury that much guaranteed money, and I think we have something special cooking here. We know Sean Payton develops that collegial, college-like atmosphere with East Coast road trips. We're going to do it again this year as we go to Germany for a game, and he seems like a me-first guy. I am very thrilled that the Broncos dodged a bullet by not getting Diggs. Also makes me rethink, like, man, if he got that much, like, what is Amari Cooper's deal or Keenan Allen's deal going to be? Because I thought Stefon Diggs was going to get a lot less than that, so we will keep you updated as to what that all turns out to be. So next thing I teased here was there's a Sean Payton apology tour going on here. Like, a lot of folks have thrown Sean Payton under the bus and said he's an authoritarian, that players don't like playing for him. Benjamin Albright came out and said stuff like people were jumping ship on Sean Payton. And it is incredible to me to see a person who has every reason to dog Sean Payton actually sing his praise. So Javonte Williams, he's got every right to kind of be a little bitter here. Like, he was drafted here and he got hurt here and he gave everything for this team. There's nothing that you can say about Javonte that's not love. and Broncos didn't make him an offer this season, and he left, and he's now a Dallas Cowboy. He will probably never play in the AFC again. He's got no reason to give Sean Payton any flowers, and he was on an interview where he just glowed up Sean Payton and basically said, like, hey, when you play for Coach Payton, it teaches you to be gritty and strong and tough, and it teaches you to get up when you get knocked down and to keep going. And so I just love the fact that, man, he's got no dog in the fight here, and yet he has given Sean Payton his flowers, and this is just pushing back on the fact that folks think Sean Payton is not a great coach, and we all know what he's already done in Denver and turned this thing around. He is the actual GOAT, which is why he took a team that last year was projected to win 5.5 games, and now the ESPN over-under for your Denver Broncos is set at 9.5 wins, so I guess glass half full there. You're like thrilled, like, hey man, that's awesome. 9.5 wins. We'll take it. But I think when you actually look at our schedule breakdown, we don't have exactly when we'll play. Man, I think the Broncos are a 10-win team, and that is our new floor with this team. So I would take the over immediately. And then they released over-unders ESPN for the rest of the teams as well. We got to remember how off they were last year, and they have us as finishing third in our division again. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Chargers are lacking explosive playmakers. They were kind of exposed in that playoff game when Herbert had all those interceptions. And I think that if Patrick Surtain plays that whole game that we played the Chargers the first time we beat them, and then I think Riley Moss, if he's fully healthy in that second game we play them and we just don't let our foot off the gas, don't have that. Remember that crazy thing where they caught a punt and got to do a free kick? Like, that was just a weird game. The momentum changed. It was a flex game to a Thursday. We are going to beat the Chargers twice this year. That's a cold, hard fact, and something you should be very, very excited about. And I think another reason to be excited about it, another reason why we dodged a bullet not getting Stefon Diggs, is some advanced analytics came out just about how good our young core truly was. To see that the EPA, leading the EPA on players who had between 50 and 75 targets last year, you are looking at rookie Devon Vele, just under Adam Thielen. So obviously there are players who had over 75 targets who had a higher EPA, but this is just awesome that when you look at the top of it, to have two Broncos receivers on here who I think are going to just be more involved in this offense and take big steps forward next year, there's every single reason to be extremely bullish. Last piece of news here, Russell Wilson, Broncos country. He is now a Giant. So this is kind of wild to me that Russell Wilson signed with the New York Giants. And a lot of folks are looking at his deal that he has up to $20 million deal and wondering, hey, does that mean we have more cap space? Unfortunately, we don't. But I do think it is interesting that, that is where he ended up. And knowing that the Broncos will indeed have a chance to play Russell Wilson in Denver next year. So let's hope he stays healthy, that's going to be a game nobody is going to want to miss. Last thing before we go, quick family update. I have loved doing videos each and every single day that I can. Recently, my wife, Sarah, was just diagnosed with colon cancer. And so no idea what the future of that is going to hold. And she is my number one priority. And so there's going to be times it is going to be impossible to get videos in, and just know that I will keep you as up to date and in the loop as I can. But she is absolutely my best friend and the strongest person I know. And she's going to fight and win this. And just really covet your prayers that to find my joy in the Lord and trust him. But Sarah's going to beat cancer, and God's going to get the glory, and that's something we can all believe in.